sisters and brothers, they would go and say, Dad, can you co-sign on me a car? And you know what he told them? He said, if the Lord didn't give it to you, I'm not going to put my name on it either. Because when you're close, that's what he would tell them, and he didn't do it. And I see why he didn't do that now, because that debt would fall down to him. It would fall down to him as well as it would to whoever is paying it, whoever's really responsible for it. So you can't be putting your security up for debt like that, because when you get to the place where you can't eat because of debt, guess what? That debt that you made, God may not have designed that for you. You might have jumped prematurely into something where God was saying, if you wait on me, I got somebody I might send by with a new one to give you. I got somebody who might be moving out of their house and ain't been too long brought it, but they can't use it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful and make sure that we are planning when we go out and buy big items or small items from these dealers and stuff, even down to our cars, even down to repairs. We have to be careful of that. All right, so modern approach deals with the financial planning, the raising of funds, and financial control. And it considers these three basic management decisions: investment decisions. What are you investing in? Is what you're investing in, is it going to bring any return, any future return? Is that car that you invested in, what's the future return of that car? Is it going to be able to take you places? Is it trustworthy to take you places? All right, your financial decision and also dividends. All right? And so now we're going to skip on down to the scope of financial management. The scope of financial management is estimating financial requirements. It's what it's going to take to get your project off the ground. What it's going to take, what is it going to require of you and the other people in order to meet your financial goals. So you, in your scope that you're going to do, you should be estimating your financial requirements, deciding your capital structure, like how you would get the funds, where the funds are going to come from, who's going to give it to you, and how long are you going to have to pay it. If you know you're going to get some, you're going to have to know all that stuff. Write it down. It's very important because it works with your financial goal setting. Select your source of finances. Is it through your job, your 9-to-5 job? And a lot of people receive disability. Is it a once-a-month income where it's a fixed income where you receive the same amount every month? How can you handle that? How can you fit what you need done as far as your financial goal into your once-a-month fixed salary? What are some things that you can do to change it? Who are some people that can help speak on your behalf? The external people. Remember I told you the external people. Can you go to your debtors and talk to them about, knocking off some of the debt? Or maybe, like if you got a lot of credit card debt out there, a good thing to do is like, if you know you owe $300 and some, go to them and talk to them about making some type of agreement with you about it. A lot of times they will accept an agreement. They'll take about $185 for a $300 debt. They will. They'll knock it down and just pay it off. Pay it off and be done with it. Yeah, they'll do that. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that ever got letters, because I told you I used to be big time on credit cards. They'll send you a letter and they'll say, well, here's an agreement. If you agree to this, sign, give us a one-time payment, and you're done with us. All right? So also in your scope, you want to select a pattern of investment. And what that basically means is that you want to be able to write out what type of pattern do you want as far as your investment. Like, if you want to save some money, how are you going to do that? How are you going to save the money? That out. Proper cash management. Do you have any cash on hand? Are you good at holding cash on hand? If you're not good with cash, then maybe you should think about getting only a debit card that will only allow you to draw what you have on it. Not any extra, not any overdraft fees, none of that. All right? The next thing in your scope, you should implement financial control. Who is going to be the control of your finances? Now, listen. Well, I'll say this. Like you, Amanda, you and me, we had kids. Your kids still in school. And my kids have graduated now. But sometimes we can feel like we want to give them more than what we had. Yep. And then let's turn our control, our financial control, over to the kids. Because then they'll want this and that. So we have to really think wisely about what the consequences would be whenever it comes down to, allowing other people to control our financial situations, So you have to you have to just really think about that. Back when my kids was in school, they wanted to be part of everything that was going on. My finances weren't always the greatest, but I always made it happen. But it was stressful. That's why I say women, money, and stress. It was stressful. Here I was out here trying to get money for book fairs and knowing that the house needed a light bill paid, knowing there was more important things than that book fair. And sometimes you just have to get to the point where you sit your child down. Look, you don't put your financial struggle off on them by no means, but you let them know this ain't the time. We can't do it this time. If you have to, that should be written down in your financial scope, as part of who controls your financial situation, who controls your money. And also those bill collectors would go in that part too as well. Family and friends that you owe. If you owe family and friends, write it down. And listen, I'm going to say this, even if you don't have no intentions on paying your family and friends back, even if you don't have no intentions on paying them back, write it down anyway. Yeah. I'm saying that because you need to see the error of your ways. Sometimes we'll go borrow money from friends and family, have all the good intentions of the world. But when it comes down time to paying them back, guess what? We go the other way, act like they are enemies to us. We'll turn our head to them. We'll see them in the store, won't speak, see them at church, keep on walking or sneak out the door so we can avoid them. So they are part of the people who control our money, and guess what? Our mental well-being too, because now we're running from people we owe. We're running from people that we owe, and that's not good because that gives you stress. That can give you anxiety, knowing that you owe somebody. It's that feeling, that same feeling you get whenever that debt collector call and you see that number on there and you know your stuff finna get repoed, and you get that little nervous feeling that goes from the top of your throat to the bottom of your heart. It's that same feeling. So write their names down anyway, even if you do still owe them and you don't know if you're going to ever pay them back or not. Write them down anyway. All right, so that is that on the financial part of the scope. That's how you want to write your scope out. You want to add all that into whatever you already have on it. Because we're going to add all this stuff together, like I said, at the end of this class, and you're going to be able to see your good side, your good spending habits, and also your bad spending habits. You're going to learn, basically, like I said, we take on debt sometimes, unnecessary debt. How many times have we went and borrowed gas money? Gas money from people to go places that are unnecessary. Unnecessary places. Or maybe we borrowed gas money to go pick up a friend of a friend, thinking the friend of a friend was going to pay us the gas money back, but they didn't. Guess what? They're controlling your finances. They're controlling your finances because now you got to pay back whoever you borrowed it from just for them. So those are your financial controllers. You got to know who they are. You got to know your weakness when it comes down to saying yes and no. Who are you weak to? Who you can't say no to? Don't put your security up for debt. Don't do it. Okay. So now we're going into the basic language of finance when it comes down to accounting terms and stuff. And these terms here, I really want y'all to go and look up yourself. I want you to go look them up yourself, please. The accounting terms that I'm going to give you is assets. Now, your assets are your home, stocks, bonds, car, saving account. It could be a boat, property that you are renting out to others. Those are assets. I want you to write down, well, I just gave you the definition of that. And liabilities. Liabilities are stuff like credit cards, IOUs. You know, when you owe somebody and you sign a note that I promise to pay you back, those are cars, homes, college loans, and again, it could be like the boats and stuff as well can be liability. The reason why I'm asking you to write this down is because if you ever get into financial debt really bad and you have to go to a lawyer, you need to even understand what your lawyer is saying, because guess what? If you hire him, he's now controlling your money too. You see what I'm saying? There are many people are in control of our money, and we don't even realize it, and we're stressing because we have signed away our rights to these people. We have signed them away because we didn't know better. We didn't know that we could sit down and talk with our creditors or our debtors and make arrangements. Now, I will say this on the credit card. If you don't have no intentions of paying your arrangement, then don't make it, because every 3 years, if you have a credit card debt that's 3 years old, then they automatically will wipe that off, but you have to, write in and let them know that that debt is owed according to the statute of North Carolina law, 3 years. So you can write into them, and they'll take it off in your credit. But once you make an arrangement with them, even if it's been 2 years, it starts that debt time back over, and you have to wait another 3 years. So you have to know that as well whenever you're making these arrangements. Make sure that you study up on what type of arrangement you're going to do. That's part of that financial planning, is knowing what you're going to do and knowing what results that you want, the results that you want to come out of it. Okay, so here's the word right here, the language finance. Write this word down: cash flow, income, and expenses. I want you to write that down for a reason. I want you to go back and look those words up yourself on your spare time that you have. I knew I wasn't going to have enough time to really cover it in here, because if I get talking on it, I get it talking. Y'all know how that is. So do we have any questions or comments so far?
You said it was cash flow income?
Yes, cash flow, that's one word. The second word was income. The third word was expenses.
Okay.
Because if you ever get into financial situations, like I said, and you do have to go to a lawyer or you do have to talk to your debtors, you need to understand the language of money. And you need to know what the words mean, because it's not the same thing as just like me and you having a regular conversation. When you're speaking accounting, it means something totally different from what me and you may be saying whenever you're doing business. So you need to understand what those terms are. So whenever you speak to them, they say, "Oh, she knows what she's talking about. We better give her a deal then. We better give her a break. We better wipe this off." They can tell if you know or not. Trust me, they can tell. All right? So when it comes down to stressing women and money and stress, long-term stress from financial issues, like I said, can contribute to heart disease, mental health issues. It can also cause women to start drinking alcohol and substance abuse. It can also cause you weight gain and weight loss. As y'all know, you probably can look at my pictures and tell I lost a lot of weight. over this year that I've had this financial situation going on. I lost a lot of weight, and some of it was stress, and some of it was simply just because I couldn't afford to eat like that. It got that bad.